Meeting of October 8th, 2024, the Shafter Planning Commission. Let the record show that all members of the Shafter Planning Commission are present with the exception of Commissioners Wiebe and Joshan with excused absences. Pledge of Allegiance tonight will be led by Vice Chairman France, followed by invocation by Commissioner Pfizer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in our heads. Lord, please help the most recent victims of the hurricanes we've been facing here in the States and elsewhere. Please help us here in the city of Shafter make decisions that are right and just. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
We'll call for a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I second.
Commissioner Pizer,
Aye.
France,
Aye.
and Sanchez.
Aye. Also call to approve the September 10th, 2024 minutes.
I motion to approve the September 10th, 2024 minutes.
I'll second.
Commissioner Pizer,
Aye.
France,
Aye.
and Sanchez.
Aye. Public comment. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wanting to address the commission only on matters not listed on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is needed for translation. Please state your name and address for the record before making your presentation. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak for public comment? Anyone online? No. We'll go ahead and close public comment for the Planning Commission meeting. Public hearing. Should anyone challenge any proposed action which is the subject of a public hearing listed on this agenda, that person challenging any action taken after the public hearing may be limited to raising only those issues addressed at the public hearing described in this notice or in written correspondence delivered to the Planning Commission at or prior to this public hearing. We'll move on to the agenda and I ask staff to present on item number 1 of the public hearing, extension of time request for tentative track map number 7052.
Yes. So we have another extension of time request, not the first one you see in the past couple months. But yeah, this one's for tentative track 7052. It's located on the southwest corner of Lerdo Highway and Poplar Avenue, shown in the green project site box here. So this tract map proposes to subdivide approximately 90 acres into 94 single-family lots. They're mostly larger size lots. The zoning is state zoning. The land use is very low density residential. It's currently vacant. There's not any, plans to begin grading or to submit for a final map application. But the owner of the site, which is HB Ag Investments, would like to apply for a 2-year discretionary extension of time, which is consistent with the city's local subdivision ordinance and the California Subdivision Map Act. So it is within their right to submit this application. And yeah, there's no trouble really. It would just be to keep an existing entitlement active for another 2 years so that in the event they do want to submit for a final map and, begin building homes at some point, they have that ability. So the staff recommendation at this point is to adopt resolution number 24-447, recommending that the, I messed up the wording here. Yeah, recommending that the city council approve a 2-year extension of time for tentative tract map number 7052 to now expire on September 18, 2026, subject to the conditions approved on March 7, 2006. And any questions? Yeah, see here. Oh, not able to. No, I got it. There we go. Oh, to the map itself. Yeah, here it is. This was approved in 2006. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So each map that the city council approved in the early 2000s, it was approved with the condition from the city council that it would expire after 2 years if a final map had not been filed. Um, and throughout, the past 2 decades, the state legislature has passed multiple extensions of time for all of these tract maps. So it's just been getting reapproved and reapproved and reapproved by the state. They also had, through our local subdivision ordinance, the ability to extend their approval 3 more times for 2 years each time. Why it was 2 years each time, I do not know. But that's currently how our ordinance is written, and so this is just to follow the regulations that we have in place. Yeah.
Motion to recommend to approve a 2-year extension of for tentative tract map number 7052. Located on the west side of Poplar Avenue between Laredo Highway and West Los Angeles.
I'll second.
Commissioner Pizer? Brent?
Aye.
And Sanchez?
On to item number 2 of the agenda and ask staff to present.
Yeah, so it's another extension of time request. This one is for a 140-acre site on the east side of North Beach Avenue between Fresno Avenue and East Tulare Avenue. It's outlined in that blue box. So this one's for 430 single-family lots. This is part of the Orchard Park specific plan area. It's owned by LGI Homes, and they're currently working on they're grading the site, and they do have a final map application for phase 1 of their development. Within phase 1, it looks like they are building, if I remember correctly, 150 single-family homes. And so this extension of time that they want for their tentative tract map is just so that they have additional time to submit a final map application for phase 2 of their development. Why they phased it out, I'm not sure, but yeah, so the extension of time is simply so that they have additional time for future entitlements that they will need for future development phases. But yeah, so apart from the 430 single family lots here, they do have a 5-acre public park that is proposed with this development. Yeah, so they would like another 2-year extension of time consistent with the city's local subdivision ordinance and the Subdivision Map Act. And staff's recommendation is that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution 24-448, recommending that the City Council approve a 2-year extension of time for tentative tract map number 6614 to now expire on March 19, 2027. Any questions?
I recommend to adopt.
I'll ask for a motion
Okay,
on
go
item
ahead.
number 2. Go ahead.
I recommend to adopt resolution number 24-448. Recommend the city council approve a 2-year extension of time for section 66452. Tentative tract map number 6614.
I second.
Commissioner Pizer? Brent?
Aye.
And Sanchez?
On to item 3, ask staff to present conditional use permit number 24-140.
Yes, Honorable Commission, this item is a conditional use permit number 24-145, which would, if you approve it, would approve 3 solar facilities on 3 separate sites located within the city of Shafter. This shows you where the 3 sites are. The 3 sites are Lerdo West Solar, Lerdo Middle Solar, and then Ranch 3461 Solar. Site number 1 is a 2.3 acre site located northeast of Cherry Avenue, Lerdo Highway intersection. And it would generate, if developed, it would generate 716 kilowatts of electricity. Site number 2 is an 8.6 acre site located southwest of Wallace, the Wallace Road 5039 intersection. And it would ultimately generate 2,537 kilowatts. And then site 3 is an 11.7 acre site located east of Mendota Street, and that site would generate 3,412 kilowatts for a total of 6.7 megawatts on 22.6 total acres. The sites would consist of a tracker solar PV system, essentially a system that would track the sunlight as it goes across the sky, and collect energy for on-site various on-site machinery that is used in the ag production for wonderful nut orchards. In the zoning ordinance, solar energy and electrical generators, commercial or domestic, exceeding 5 kilowatts capacity are conditionally allowed within the agricultural zone district, which all 3 of these are in, and therefore a CUP is required. We allowed wonderful nut orchards to do all 3 of the sites under 1 CUP, because that way they could also do it all 3 sites under 1 environmental document. In this case, a mitigated negative declaration was prepared, and that is Exhibit C of the resolution in your packet. The M&D concluded that with mitigation for biological, cultural, and paleontological resources, the impacts of the project would be reduced to a level of less than significant. And so those mitigation measures have become the condition have become part of the conditions of approval for the project. They're the final few conditions of Exhibit B of the resolution. With any CUP, findings have to be made. Staff has found that this application is consistent with the general plan and the city's policies and standards. It would not impair the integrity and character of the zone district, that being the agricultural zone. The 3 sites are suitable for the type and intensity of the area. There is adequate provision for water, sanitation, public utilities, and services for these 3 sites, namely because those are not necessary for solar facilities, other than the interconnections, the electrical interconnections. The 3 sites would not be detrimental. The development of the 3 sites would not be detrimental to public health, safety, or welfare. The site's development will not have a significant impact on the environment, as was disclosed in the MND. And we have, staff has determined that the conditions of approval attached to the resolution are deemed necessary for health, safety, and welfare. And with that, staff recommends that you conduct a hearing and adopt resolution 24-450, approving CUP number 24145 with findings and conditions of approval. I'd also like to note that you also on the dais have a memorandum. These are the comment letters we received in regards to the mitigated negative declaration. We received 1 comment letter from the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. We've also received another letter from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. After reviewing these letters, and we've also provided them to the applicant, Swanson Engineering, and Mr. Bob Swanson of Swanson Engineering is available in the audience if you have any additional questions. We determined that staff has reviewed the letters and believes that the conditions of approval adequately address the suggested mitigation and requirements that are in the letter. And so that is just the memorandum is just available there for you to have a full picture so that you can make an informed decision. And with that, that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Orchards. Yeah, yeah, orchards. There is no urban development anywhere in the near vicinity of any of these solar projects. And the solar projects are basically going to be used to help power pumps and other electrical needs of the operations themselves for Wonderful Nut Orchards.
Seems like the letters were just kind of outlining the regulations more than anything.
Yeah, I've seen these letters before. For the most part, they're fairly boilerplate letters. They kind of, here's the rules that you could or may have to comply with. And so the conditions require that the applicant provide a letter from San Joaquin saying that they complied with all applicable rules of the San Joaquin Valley. And then the suggested mitigation that was proposed in the CDFW letter is basically there is a form of that kind of mitigation that is in the conditions of approval already. It was part of the mitigated negative declaration. So that mitigation is enforceable. It's a requirement. It's a mandate. And so staff will make sure that those mitigation measures were effectuated. Basically, for biological resources, doing a pre-construction survey. If nothing's found, they give us a letter stating so by a qualified biologist. If something is found, then there would be avoidance measures or passive relocation measures that would be necessary at that time to make sure that there is no take of sensitive species. So again, I feel like the mitigation adequately captures what was desired of the districts and the agencies.
Any other questions? Seeing no further questions, I'll ask for a motion on item number 3.
Make a motion, we adopt resolution number 24-450, approving CUP number 24-145.
Second.
Commissioner Pizer?
Aye.
Franz?
Aye.
And Sanchez?
Aye. We'll move on to item number 4 and ask staff to present on tentative track map number 7461.
Yes, this item, actually, what we would like you to do tonight is open a public hearing and then continue the public hearing to what is called a date certain of November 12th, 2024. The reason for that is that staff, after noticing, determined that we actually need a little bit more time to develop the conditions of approval for this tentative track map. The reason being is that this is actually the first tentative track map that this planning department has worked on, and we want to make sure that we get these conditions, these modern conditions, correct, because there are going to be a number of additional tracks coming in subsequently, and this will be the basis for those conditions as well. So we requested a 30-day extension from the applicant, which is Lennar. They agreed, but we had already noticed, so we are required to open the public hearing tonight and then continue it to a date certain of November 12th. Perhaps the assistant city clerk can help guide us through this process, because this is a little bit new, I think, for all of us.
I'll go ahead and open the public hearing then at this time and ask if there's anyone in the audience or online wishing to speak regarding item number 4. There's no one wishing to speak. However, we'll keep the item open for the public hearing, and I'll ask for a motion and a second to continue the public hearing to the November 12th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
I motion we keep it open until the November 12th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
I'll second.
Commissioner Pizer?
Aye.
Franz?
Aye.
And Sanchez.
Aye. Any reports from commissioners this month? No reports. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
Meeting adjourned.